Now we turn our attention to the big heavyweight fight coming up in April 2017. Wladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua. Very interesting fight. Bookies have got Joshua the favourite 2 to 5, draw 40 to 1, Wladimir Klitschko around 2 to 1. At first glance, you may edge towards Joshua, the younger man, more athletic, unbeaten, all victories by way of knockout, an Olympian, a gold medalist, extensive amateur career, and someone who definitely looks to be on the way up. But it's not as simple as that. He's facing one of the greats of the game, the most dominant heavyweight over the last 10 years, Wladimir Klitschko, trained by Emmanuel Stewart, extensive amateur career, generally impressive, great physique, just a tremendous competitor. And so I don't think it's an easy one to call. Some people, have gone straight for Joshua. I actually think Wladimir Klitschko has claims here. And the main reason why is that Joshua hasn't faced anyone of note. He won the title of Charles Martin. Charles Martin was useless. He's beaten Kevin Johnson. He's beaten Molina. He's beaten a few people. He's beaten Dylan White. But he hasn't really been tested. Dylan White is the only person to have shaken him in the second round of their fight. Dylan White got a shot away, which Joshua took, and it seemed to shake him. But he recovered from it and went on to win the fight convincingly. But apart from that fight, he hasn't really been tested. He hasn't been out to deep water. Dominic Brazil was quite hard to get rid of. He was quite tough, but he didn't really put up any offense. He just sort of stood there and took a beating. And Anthony Joshua was quite happy to dish that out. So that's the problem. Wladimir has faced great fighters. He's faced a much higher level of competition. He's beaten Povetkin, he's beaten Pulev. I mean, his resume, we could be here all day going through all the people he's beaten. Such a great record. He's mainly got by having adopted the style Emmanuel Stewart gave to him. He used to have a problem with his chin. He got knocked out a few times early on in his career. And Emmanuel Stewart looked at that, gave him a technique where he was able to fight from range, work the jab, stay out of trouble, and basically win in a not very stylish way, but an effective way. It protected his chin, and he was able to use his attributes, use his height and reach, and just, sort of robotically put people away, sort of guarantee victory by playing it safe. Tyson Fury figured that out, and he came with his awkward style, his height advantage and his reach advantage, and he was able to get the victory and beat Wladimir. I think it's going to be harder for Anthony Joshua. I don't think he's as awkward as Tyson Fury. He's obviously not as tall as Fury, and I don't know. I think Anthony, he has a lot of attributes, but he's going to be out and fighting in deep waters here. He's moving up in trip, and it's a big move he's making. It's not a little step up. This is a huge step up. So he's going to have to really study Wladimir's technique, really work with his training team, and come up with a method and a style to counteract Wladimir. The other side of the ring, Wladimir's come off that loss against Fury. This could be his last fight, win or lose. He's going to be going for broke. He was very disappointed with that performance against Fury. He wasn't himself. Vitali wasn't happy with his performance. Vitaly Klitschko, his brother, he would have had a word with him. He would have helped him train. This is a big fight for both of them. I think Vitaly also took it very badly, that loss. And, they're very proud. They're a very proud family. He's got a great record, and he'll want to leave, if this is his last fight, he'll want to leave in style. In terms of the mental side, I think Klitschko has the edge. He's got the experience. At the press conference, Anthony Joshua has been very respectful of Wladimir to a fault. He's been overly respectful. And it's got to a stage where the press conference is basically Wladimir acting as an ambassador for heavyweight boxing. And he's almost speaking like a politician. And Anthony Joshua is allowing him to do that. I think he should, have a few words back, have a few comments to say to Wladimir that shake him up a little bit mentally. I think it's going to be very important. His plan might be to just show what he can do in the ring, let the fighting do the talking. But no, the mental edge is very big in fights of this nature, and he's losing the edge for me in the press conferences. Other people may think other things, but from what I see, I'd like to see a bit more from Anthony Joshua, a little bit more fire, just to let Wladimir know that this is a fight he's taking very seriously and he won't have it all his own way. Some people see it as a knockout for Joshua. in the early rounds. Some people see it as a knockout for Joshua in the middle of the rounds. I think it's going to go a long way. I think Vladimir's strategy is going to be to take Anthony out to deep water. I don't think Anthony. I don't think Anthony Joshua has been past round 7 in his previous contests, and that's a big issue. We haven't really seen his stamina tested. He'd knocked everybody out up to halfway through the fight. We haven't seen how he will adjust and how he will deal with rounds 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if necessary. I know it's a heavyweight contest. Usually fights of this nature end before round 7 or 8, but I think Wladimir is going to try and take it deep. I think he's going to try and stay out of trouble. He's going to try and work the jab. He's going to try and maintain distance and just try and do a tactical number on Joshua. I mean, if he goes toe-to-toe with Anthony, I think he'll probably get beaten. He knows that. But Vladimir's never fought toe-to-toe. He'll fight from range. There'll be a lot of hugging. There'll be a lot of clinching. He'll attempt to kind of spoil Anthony's offense. He knows what Anthony Joshua's power can do. He will have seen it in Anthony's previous fights. They've sparred together. He'll know about that. So he won't want to mess around on the inside too much. He'll just want to keep it a long game, keep it, winning rounds from range, scoring points. And if he gets the opportunity, then release that right hand, which is something he didn't do against Fury. He'll definitely be looking to let his hands go on this occasion. Having made that mistake against Fury, he won't want to make it again. My pick at this stage is Wladimir, and the reason it's Wladimir is mainly to do with the odds. I think 2-1 is quite high on Wladimir. I think the fight's closer than that. Joshua at 2-5, it doesn't really appeal. It's a lot closer. It's experience against a younger man who's hungry. There's kind of similar temperaments in a way, aren't they, as well? Kind of quieter, cerebral types, introverted types. But as I say, the mental edge, from what I've seen so far, there's more preference conferences to come, so that may change. The edge is with Wladimir mentally at the moment. Physical edge is probably with Anthony being the younger man. See, there's so many, as you're going through it and you brainstorm it, there's so many different angles to this. But for the time being, I'm going to side with the experience of Wladimir. I'm going to side with the fact that he's coming off a loss against Fury, which would have dented his ego. The fact that he's ending his legacy, could potentially be ending his legacy here. Obviously, Anthony has got on his side that he's trying to grow his legacy. So, you see, there's sides, there's arguments for both sides, but I can see Wladimir spoiling, I can see Wladimir clinching, I can see Wladimir taking Anthony Joshua to somewhere he's never been before. And that's what's going to be the issue here. There's an unknown factor with Anthony Joshua. How does he go past round 7? How does he deal with someone who's in great shape, who is still, I wouldn't say Vladimir's at his peak, but he's close to it. He's a little bit past his peak. He's not a long way past it. How does he deal with someone with the experience, in good physical condition, who has been here before? Anthony's not been here before. He's not faced someone of this level, and he's not been in a fight of this magnitude. Wladimir's done it before. So for the time being, the pick is Wladimir Klitschko at 2-1. It's not a strong fancy, it's a value fancy. That may change. Press conferences still to come, many months to come. But this is kind of a futures pick. For the time being, the selection with Wladimir Klitschko at 2-1.